Intention, half of what you need to get anywhere. Let's talk a little bit about that. Hey guys, welcome back to Tifero, welcome back to Mind Mastery. It's me, Matt here, and in this episode I want to talk a little bit about intention. Now, when I say intention, I of course mean that you've set your mind on a particular objective and you've decided that you are going to complete it, or that it is going to happen in the way that you want, or whatever. Now, intent is a very, very powerful tool. Just intent is about half of all you need to get anything done. If you have the right intent, then a lot of the work is already done for you. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I'm going to tell you guys a little story to help kind of illustrate this point. Now, I have to preface this with the fact that this was something that one of my friends told me. They told me about this study that they heard about. They were relaying it to me, secondhand, so they might have been a bit off with the details of the study. I'm now relaying it to you from memory, so I might be even more off with it. So the facts that I'm giving you here could not even be facts at this point. It could be, completely different from the study itself. But the point is, the core idea of this study is essentially what I was told and essentially what the study was, and it teaches you a little bit about intention. If anyone actually knows what study I'm talking about when I mention this, I would love to actually see this study and find out more about it, because I couldn't actually track it down and my friend told me about it. But I'd love to learn more about it, because it's a really interesting study and it does say a lot about the power of intention. So anyway, the study goes as follows. Again, as I said, the details might be quite off. Just look at the overall moral of the story. So there was this music class or something, or groups of kids that were wanting to learn music, and they were taking part in this study. Now, this study wanted to find out about different levels of commitment and how that affected how easily and quickly you learn to play a particular instrument. I can't remember what instrument they used, or if it was multiple instruments or what, but anyway, there were three groups. All of these kids were divided into three groups. The first group were kids who basically committed to learning for a short time. They committed to learning that instrument for, say, a month or something like that. Then there was a second group who committed to learning for a longer time, like a year or so. Finally, the third group committed to learning the instrument for life. They said that this is something they're going to play until the day they die. They made a lifelong commitment. Now, inside those groups were split down further. So inside each of those three groups, there were differing hours of practice. So for example, one group within each group would only practice for, say, an hour a week, while another would practice for, say, an hour a day, another would practice for, say, multiple hours a day. So naturally, you would think that the ones who practiced the longest in each group would be the ones who were the most skilled with the instrument by the end of the month of the study. But what was quite interesting is the difference between the levels of commitment. Now, the group that committed to a lifelong career with that instrument, within that same month of playing, did better than both the other groups. But where it gets more interesting is the ones who only practiced for, say, an hour a week in that lifelong commitment group did better than the ones who practiced for hours every single day in the other two groups. Let that sink in for a moment. By making the commitment to do something for the rest of their life, they had set the intention that that is what they're going to do. That is something they're going to be good at. That's something they're going to be great at. And as a result, they only needed a fraction of the time in that month to achieve the same progress or more as other people who hadn't made that same commitment, who hadn't set that same intention. So think about that in your life. What things are there that you want, but you've not even set any clear goals, not even set any clear intention on? Like, say you want to find love. Have you ever actually sat down and said, this is exactly what I'm looking for in a person? Have you actually ever written down your ideal description of your ideal partner? If you haven't done that, why not? Because you need to actually set that intention. You need to decide what it is that you want if you want the world to actually give you that. If you don't decide, then you're not going to know when it comes. You're not going to know when it's walking past you in the street. You're not going to know when it's looking you right in the face. So you actually have to set that intention. Same goes in all areas of life. If you want money, don't just say, I want to be rich someday. Say, I want this amount of money. I want to be earning this much a year. I want this, exact amount by this exact date. You have to actually set the intention and make the commitment. Because by doing that, you're actually saying to your brain, this is what I'm going to do, now just get me there. And at that point, your brain can kind of fill in the details and show you what you need to do to move in that direction. So I want you to take a moment right now and to think about all the major areas of your life. You know, your finances and job, love and relationships, friendships and family, where you want to travel and, you know, your hobbies and stuff like that, where you want to be 5 years from now, your health, all of the things that you can think of, all the different categories you can think of that you can divide your life into. And I want you, for each category, to write down one intention that you want to achieve in, you know, the next year or so. Just one. It doesn't even have to be the next year. It can be something immediate. So say you don't have a job at the minute. You need a job. So you have to think about it. What kind of job do you actually want? What kind of job do you actively want at the minute? And set the intention. Write down exactly the job that you want, and write down how much you want to be paid for that job. You know, don't be silly. Don't be like, oh, I want to be stacking shelves and I want to be earning, you know, $500,000 an hour. Don't be silly like that, because that's not going to happen. But, you know, be realistic about it. Think of a job that you want. It doesn't have to be a job that's easy to get either. It can be a job that's going to take you a lot of effort to get. But set the intention, and once you've done that, you've done half of the work. Because what we normally do is we just go, well, yeah, I would like this, I would like that, I would like to be doing this. But we never kind of decide. And it's that power of making the decision, it's that power of saying, this is what I'm going to do, that actually allows you to move towards that. Because otherwise you're kind of just wandering aimlessly in lots of different directions without really knowing where you're going. And as a result, you're a lot slower moving towards your goals. You might not even end up at your goals because you might get distracted halfway along the way and head off some other way. You might, you know, because you didn't decide on that one thing that you wanted, you might decide on something else and go off another direction before then. Whereas if you decide now on exactly what you want, your brain, your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your circumstances can all head in that direction until you get to that point. So do that now. Take all the areas of your life and write down intentions for each of them. And really commit to those intentions. Say, this is what I am going to do. This is what I am going to achieve. This is what I am going to have. Do that now, and you'll see the results. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe up there, because we've got regular videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions or want to share something that you're intending to do so in the comments below. If you haven't already, you should check out my new Lucid Dreaming audio course. It's called Advanced Lucidity, and it guides you from the very basics of lucid dreaming all the way to the advanced stuff. It's 14 lessons as well as 3 bonus tracks that are like relaxation and affirmation tracks. And there's more information if you check out my Gumroad page for the thing. It details everything that you're going to find in the course, so check that out. Grab a copy and enjoy. There'll be a link to that up the top of the screen right now. And the other thing you should check out if you haven't already is my 4 Steps to Manifesting Anything ebook, which is the ebook where I explain the steps that I use to manifest different things in my life. And the first step of those is actually something we talked about in this video, namely setting the intention, setting the actual goal that you want. And it's one of the 4 steps, and it's a very powerful step, and it's going to get you half the way there. If you want the other steps and you want to go further with this, then check out the ebook that's linked up there. Thank you guys for watching once again. If you want to keep watching, check out the video linked on screen. Take care, guys.